This video is sponsored by The Chosen Prime. Link in the description down below. See, I spelled it right this time. It says here, according to TF Wiki, it says that Brawn has a lot of chutzpah and a somewhat sarcastic sense of humor ever at the ready. I think I found my spirit transformer. What's going on, everybody? S.L.B coming at you with another video review. This time we're taking a look at Fans Toys FT-42 Hunk. A hunka burning love. That's gonna be the only time I do an Elvis joke in this video. Promise you. And before we get into the figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging. The front of the package has artwork of Hunk in his robot mode and alt mode. And I particularly like the picture of Hunk because he's looking like, I may be small, but I'll kick your ass. Ah, the Napoleon complex. Top and bottom has artwork of Hunk in his vehicle mode. Both sides of the packaging has the name of the figure as well as the Fans Toys stuff. FT-42, blah, blah, blah. Back of the packaging has your typical bio for Hunk as well as product shots of the figure doing Brawn things. Now let's take him out of the packaging and take a look at those accessories. First up are the instructions. Yep, there they are. It's your typical Fans Toys instructions. Follow them at your discretion. They show you how to replace the face as well as how to put the gun in the hand and how to attach the drill for vehicle mode. Oh, they also show you where to store the gun in vehicle mode. Isn't that nice of them? How sweet. Moving on, we have your typical bio card. And I was today years old when I figured out that the CGI render on the front kind of matches the product shot on the front of the instructions. Mind blown. On the back of the card, you have product shots as well as the same bio as the back of the box. Now, where to start with the added bits that come with Hunk? There is just so many to choose from. If you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. And if you could tell, kudos to you. There are 3 things included, not exactly rocket science here. Let's start with the one thing from that one episode. I am referring to the giant drill that comes with Hunk. You remember in that one episode of Transformers where Brawn used the drill to burrow under the Decepticon base so he and a few other Autobots could rescue Sparkplug? Well, here is that drill. Molded really well and that chrome paint is top notch. Plugging it on the front of the vehicle mode isn't that difficult. Just look at how the instructions tell you to do it. There. Was that so hard? Do you think he's overcompensating for something? Let's move on to the alternate face, and if I'm being honest here, I think this is one of the best uses of a screaming face. More on that later in my final thoughts. The mold and paint is fantastic. Swapping out the face is as easy as the instructions make it out to be. Just pop off the default face and presto. Now that I look at it, you know what this face reminds me of? Last thing included is the gun. The paint, again, is fantastic. Just look at the way that silver shines. You can store the gun in vehicle mode just by taking the peg on the side of the gun and pegging it into the hole on the undercarriage of the Land Rover. It is very simple to plug onto the panel underneath the rear section. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, you can have Hunk or Brawn hold it in robot mode. Here's the kicker though. It's not your typical way you would plug in a gun in your third-party Transformer, or even official Masterpiece Transformer. You see, Hunk has this groove in his hand, but not in his heart, that you slide the back of the grip of the gun into. You don't even have to open the hand at all to slide the handle down in the groove.
It's fighting time!
Did you watch my review of Fans Toys Sheridan or their version of Warpath? No? Well, then you should. After this review though. Anyways, in my review of Sheridan, I had said that he was a brick. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so Hunk here is borderline brick in his vehicle mode. He doesn't have the weight that Sheridan had, however, Hunk has some very sharp angles and resembles a brick. And if you think about what a Land Rover looked like in the 80s, Hunk fits that style. From the soft round hood to the boxy mid and rear section, I would say that I've come to like the vehicle mode. Maybe I am biased because of my preference to the older style body types of cars. Yes, I know it's not entirely a G1 accurate representation with the cartoon model or toy, but for my collection, it meets that criteria of being close to a real-world Land Rover. If you don't like that, well then you can suck it. Now, the color of Hunk may throw people off because, again, it is not entirely G1 accurate. You have this army green that encompasses roughly 98% of the vehicle. There isn't that much going on with the paint. The front section of the vehicle has a beautiful silver grille with a little bit of a muted gold underneath it that really just, when you look at Hunk head on and really take a step back and soak in the whole vehicle mode, it makes you think that the G1 Brawn looked the same way.
S.L.B, if you remember correctly, the G1 Brawn was more green as compared to this color.
Okay, first, shut up. Second, was he though? I'm using my memory and the power of Google, and to me, this color looks pretty darn close to the G1 toy.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Now, if we were to compare it to the cartoon, well, again, I have to say it looks pretty close. I went back and watched some G1 episodes, and I literally held the figure up to my computer.
Flicks on the head. Autobots, roll.
I will say that one of the most surprising things that I admire is the darkish blue tint for the windows. From far away, you can't see the robot kibble on the inside. Once you get closer, yeah, it's there. I also have to give kudos for Fans Toys for the use of silver chrome for the rims of the car. Add that with the black rubber tires and they really stand out in a good way. The scale does seem a little off to me when compared to other official and unofficial MP vehicles. I don't know what it is. I have tried looking at different angles and I just can't make up my mind when it comes to the scale of the vehicle mode.
Open your eyes, jackass.
Okay, that helped a little bit. However, again, I'm on the fence whether or not the scale is good or not. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. I have some things to say about the transformation, but I think I will save that for my final thoughts. Just watch this sped up clip with some background music. Now that the vehicle mode is out of the way, let's get into this robot mode, and I gotta say that I like this robot mode. There is some controversy with Hunk, and I understand why some people prefer Bad Cube's Brawny. He is short and stocky, where Hunk here is taller and more slim. I don't have Brawny personally, so my opinion is solely based on photos I've seen. Look at this paint job though. This yellow mustard with some shine. Against this is what I'm gonna say army green. If I say pickle green, it's gonna make me want a hot dog. Nathan's only. Damn, now I'm hungry. Sorry, back to the figure. Where was I? Oh yeah, the color. I really like this shade of green on Hunk. Vehicle mode is one thing, but I think it's the added yellow and gray that really makes me appreciate the shade of green. The one thing that really stands out to me is in the opposite direction of his crotch. Hey, his eyes are up here. The paint on his head just really sticks out for me. The same gray that is in his arms and hands, as well as his knees, encompass the face. But if you look beyond that, you can see these piercing blue eyes with a thin black outline to really make them pop out. To top it all off, no pun intended, that silver helmet is such a trademark of Brawn, and Fans Toys is closer to the source material more so than Bad Cube's. This is just my opinion. The silver used is more bright and vibrant, and it's enough to differentiate from the face that, to me, it just seems more pleasing than what Bad Cube used. I think that overall the molding on Hunk is enough to quench the thirst. It has become apparent to me that my palate for tuna accurate is subsiding. I am okay with not that much detail or greeble on my figures as I get more and more into collecting. I'm sophisticated, somewhat. Take the chest on Hunk for example. The molded lines at the top really stand out against the flat section right, and I guess you want to call his epidural. And right underneath that you have these two molded screws. And holy shit, you know what I just realized? Hunk is wearing suspenders. You can never unsee it now. Articulation on Hunk is meh. The head can't do a full 360, even with the addition of moving the section behind his head. The arms have good range of movement. You can do a full 360, and the outward mobility is a full 9 degrees. Biceps swivel, check. Wrist swivel, check. No ab crunch, Slight waist swivel. I mean, everything is pretty much there for articulation. Having Hunk next to all of my other MP scale figures, to me, he just fits. So the screaming alternate face, and why do I like it so much? Well, to me, Brawn has always had this mentality of, yeah, I'm short, but I'm still gonna kick your ass. And really nothing says I'm going to get in your face and pound the shit out of you like this face sculpt. To me, it really just encompasses the character of Brawn. For one additional accessory, I would have loved Megatron's arm cannon. And yeah, it's one thing from one episode, but hear me out on this. I know Fans Toys isn't doing a Megatron. Who knows what Fans Toys is doing right now. So I think it would have been really funny to see all the hardcore Fans Toys collectors go out there and speculate that, oh my God, they included this accessory with Brawn and now Fans Toys is gonna do an MP Megatron. And then just to have their hopes and dreams crushed like a bug on a windshield. Maybe I have no soul, but that would have been funny to me. If you watched my Fans Toys review, then you've heard of my empty parking lot theory, if you want to call it that. I'm sitting here and I'm closing my eyes and I'm picturing Smokescreen and Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Trax. Cliffjumper's getting towed because he parked in a handicapped spot. Sorry. Anyways, I'm picturing this in my head and I'm not 100% sure if Hunk fits in vehicle mode. Other than that, I really have no quarrels with the vehicle mode. The most nerve-wracking thing about the transformation, the cringe-worthy part, the part where you have to ask yourself, did I just break my figure? When you're going from robot to vehicle or vehicle to robot, it's the backpack. And you have to get the roof in there a specific way, and you have to put a little force behind it. And it's just so, like, why Fans Toys? Why did you have to do that? Don't get me wrong. I like the way it transforms. I like the way it folds on itself and compresses, and it's not too much of an eyesore in robot mode. It's Brawn. He's supposed to have this kind of backpack. Why Fans Toys? Did you have to make that so nerve-wracking? I mean, the few things I have to say about the robot mode is the lack of rotation in the head and the lack of movement up and down. The sculpt does kind of hinder a lot of mobility, and that's kind of a bummer. I mean, you can make fun of his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toes all you want. I like it. I do. And that's my opinion. So this is S.L.B, and this has been my review of Fans Toys FT-42 Hunk, or Brawn, wherever you want to call him. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank my sponsor for this video, The Chosen Prime. Shop thousands of figures, earn points on every purchase. Anything over $150, it's free shipping. There's an unboxing video coming up shortly too. And there's one more thing I keep forgetting to mention about The Chosen Prime, is one of the things I love about them, is the fact that you can make payments on your pre-orders. Links to The Chosen Prime social media will be in the description down below, their website, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also follow me, hello puberty. You'll also find links to my social media in the description down below. Hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Am I forgetting one? Oh yeah, there's PayPal too. Throw a couple bucks my way, like a tip jar. This is S.L.B, and again, this has been my review of Fans Toys FT-42 Hunk. And this is S.L.B. I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of advice, little word of the wise today. This too shall pass. It'll pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass.